In today's episode, we continue in our ongoing advocacy for the inclusion of blind people in audio description. Since this is flipping the script, where we go beyond the mainstream AD conversation, we're going to show you how AD contributes to our creativity. Welcome. I'm Thomas Reed, and this is Read My Mind Radio. Read
my mind.
Read
my mind.
My name is Kemal Göre. Some of my friends call me KG. I'm a media composer, he, him. I identify as blind or legally blind. I have kind of brown-gray hairs, medium length, and I have glasses. Not sunglasses, but I have some fancy Montblanc glasses that I always like to mention because they are fancy.
And I'm super bad.
And it's my unique honor and privilege to be able to serve as the secretary at RAMP, recording artists and music professionals with disabilities. Also, I have a guide dog whose name is Bulut, means cloud. She's a yellowish golden retriever, but when she was a baby, the donors told me that she looked like a cloud. If I do not mention about her, she will make it a big deal.
Yeah, my daughter just got a dog. It's a baby, and he just got neutered, or as I like to say, destroyed. Now that I mentioned two dogs, I bet this will be one of the highest ranking podcast episodes ever. You can't compete with children or animals. Let's talk about your relationship to disability so folks have an understanding of, where we're coming from in this conversation.
My journey as a visually impaired individual starts in my really early months on the face of the earth. My usual habit was blending in and finding some workarounds. That's the main central part of my relationship with my disability. There's a two face of this medallion, this picture. First part is, yes, being innovative, being an inventor, and trying to blend in into the community. And yes, I'm a natural problem solver, just like all other persons with disabilities. But on the other hand, most of the energy that I've been spending in my childhood to find ways to blend into the community, blend into the kindergarten, to the school, and everywhere. It's a matter of fact that how to hide yourself and how to hide your identity. And it's a dark part because people, at least in 90s in my country, Turkey, it's always a thing. People try to identify you with something. Okay, you don't look like you're blind at all.
A thing that we know is not exclusive at all to Turkey. In fact, this isn't exclusive to blindness. Over the years of producing this podcast, I've had the opportunity to speak to so many people about their own experience with disability. There's no difference between, you don't look blind, or, girl, you look too good to be in a wheelchair. Another common experience we share, not giving into the idea of hiding yourself.
And this was the center of my relationship with my disabled identity for a long time of my life, until the adulthood. Then I learned how to accept my identity, welcome it, and make it part of my life. Yes, I'm blind, and it's not only the part of my identity, but as a professional, it's the part of my brand also. When I decided to accept my identity as a trained musician, as a human being, as a composer, then the color of things has started to change in a good way. Because then I know who I am, I accept who I am, and I celebrate who I am. Then I found my community, although not in my country, but in the States, in spite of the fact that my body lives in Istanbul, but my career and my community stays and grows in the States, and I can't be grateful enough for that.
So I'm wondering, when you say blending in, does that have something to do with you and music and how you took to music? Is there a relationship there?
You're on a really great track here. That's where my journey with music begins, and that's the main motivation. I remember my very first on-stage experience, and it was when I was 4. My uncle is a well-known rock star in my country. He's one of the legends. one of the local and even kind of an international rock legends in Turkey. And my very first on-stage experience was a duet with him. I think he was thinking it would be adorable to make a duet with a 4-year-old kid.
Remember what I said about children and animals?
I remember clearly when I've seen all the crowd and I was on the stage, I thought, oh my God, the crowd area, it's really messy. It's overcrowded and there's a lot of noise in there and dark. But on the contrary, stage was bright. There was only 5 or 6 people on the stage and I have the microphone. So it looked safer to me.
And then it went beyond safety.
Like people shouting your name, clapping, celebrating you. Good stuff comes with the live performance. I can say that my father is an amateur guitar player, so the music was the great part of my life. The stereo was my beloved toy in my childhood. This is the moment that I decided to start that journey. I didn't know that entirely, but it led me to this professional path. That moment on the stage with the lights, and I was the one who had the microphone.
I love that. What's your uncle's name?
My uncle has a really long Turkish name, Nejat Yavaşoğlu, and the band's name is Bulutsuzluk Özlemi. He and his band has a really unique and important place because his band and my uncle himself mentored many other younger rock groups and opened the path for them. That's why they're legend, and also their songs still at the top in the rock genre in Turkey.
Well, that was Kamal's first and last time performing with his uncle. I'm telling you, there's no competing with children and animals. That set Kamal on his path. It helped him find his instrument.
I instantly fell in love with that big instrument and all the possibilities. I studied violoncello in the Fine Arts High School. I took some violin lessons, even drum set lessons. I still in love with bass guitar, but the piano was the weapon I chose back in days because I think it's the most complex instrument and the core of the music.
What were you listening to as a child that really sort of kind of connected with you?
Even though I'm a Turkish kid, born and raised in Turkey, because of my father and mother, jazz, blues, and rock has the major part in my life. My dad is a really big Miles Davis fan. My mom is a really big fan of Buddy Guy. She still is. We have a little Buddy Guy statue in our house from the Buddy Guy's own bar in Chicago. I'm always in love with jazz, even though never managed to become a full-time jazz musician. Somehow, even though it's not a part of my mom's or dad's musical life, somehow I decided to go start listening classical music, opera in particular.
So tell me a little bit about your experience with audio description.
What if I tell you I've never experienced an audio description till I became a media professional?
What?
My career in the States starts in 2020 with the competition that I won, ran by Able Artists Foundation, founded by Stephen Letnes. I applied for the contest that Able Artists Foundation runs. Somehow I recognized as a grand prize winner. There were some prizes linked with some publishers. A couple of years passed and I found myself in a project working with Steve, a project called Possibilities. You were also part of it, right?
Yeah, I was interviewed for it. It's a documentary produced by the American Foundation for the Blind. They speak with a variety of different blind people in all sorts of fields. Several are part of the Read My Mind radio family, including Satona Howery, who narrates the open audio description.
That was the first time that I've experienced the audio description because I've been working in the project as an additional music writer and the composer assistant.
Composing music for a film with audio description means you're going to have to compose music that takes the AD into consideration.
I watched that documentary like 1,000 times. Being visually impaired, legally blind can put you in weird situations because doctors keep telling you should using your sight. But at the same time, same doctors keep telling you need accessibility equipments and tools. All right, but where is the balance? You are the one who should find the balance in your life, and it can be tricky. Also, let's say the audio description was not that popular in Turkey or not existed at all back in the days. Thanks to my private school education, I have a fairly acceptable English, so I can watch movies in English. But I never tried an audio description. I saw audio description as an option, but with the possibilities, I experienced that for a long time. Then I utterly understand how comforting it is and how crucial it is. Because you never thought something's important until you experience it all by yourself.
Today,
The audio description should be part of the core production budget. It shouldn't be an optional stuff. It should be a requirement, a core budget item. Like, we need music in the movie. We need dialogue mix in the movie. We need audio description in a movie or any kind of motion picture. The blind community have every right to access all media content in an accessible way.
absolutely. I will not fight you on that.
You shouldn't.
Now that you are aware of it after possibilities, has it changed you? Do you access more content with audio description today?
I can't say that because I still have some sight. My usual habit is still consuming the visual content with my eyes, but I'm also getting older. So I don't know what future holds, but it's really comforting and heartwarming that at least there is an option.
Options are great. Kamal actually did take the opportunity to listen to audio description, not as a consumer, but as a creator.
Actually, it was a really interesting, strange, challenging, definitely the most inspiring project that I have ever been. It's called How Great Is Your Darkness, a silent movie about disability culture and how medical institutions treat the disabled persons and why the ableism is really strong in that field. It's like a art house short movie established by 7 short stories. Each one of them reflects different problems in the medical industry.
The film is currently making the film festival rounds and will hopefully arrive on a streaming platform at some point for us all to see.
A Finnish director, Jenny Julia, please forgive me that I cannot pronounce her really long last name. She warned me not to try that. She decided to create an audio description for that movie. A Finnish person who is the father of the Finnish audio description scripted the audio description. They recorded it. And she decided she wants music in that movie. But the music will be synced with the audio description.
Yulia decided she didn't want the composer of the music for her film to actually see the film. Rather, she wanted the music to be composed based on the audio description.
It's a comedy movie, by the way. There's a lot of sync points, almost cartoon-like sync points.
A comedy? Not the first genre that comes to mind when thinking about ableism in medicine. But okay. I haven't seen the film, but if you're not clear about sync points, think slapstick. You need the music to be timed with the pie in the face or the fall after slipping on the banana peel.
It's a real comedy.
The challenges go beyond hitting the comedic sync points.
One, because it's a silent movie, there's no dialogue. Everything is told by gestures. That's why audio description never stops. Talking. So for a media composer, it's a nightmare because how I can score something has its own taste, has its own part, but will not fight with the voiceover, which never stops. But the bigger challenge is, the director told me that she will combine the score, the audio description, and the picture after I deliver everything. And I was like, okay, then give me the picture so I can catch all sync points and it will be done. She told me, nah, I won't give you anything. Score the music and we will see whether or not it will fit with the picture.
She's definitely a comedian.
She's a multidisciplinary artist and I still can't believe how inspiring she is. She took all the time, talk about all the allegories that she used, all the reflections, subcontext, and she was always accessible for questions and more debates in terms of how the music should be. And she didn't give any hint what kind of music that she wants.
Fortunately, she hinted that she wanted the music to sound fancy. By that, she meant classical.
I scored a Hollywood-style comedy score. All the bells and whistles, the wind, strings, brasses, percussion, everything.
The director's plan was to move a few things around if necessary to sync the score to the film.
She called me eventually. She was like, Kemal, guess what? And I was like, what? I decided to not change anything. I will place all cues as they are. And I was like, okay, why did you decide to do that? And she was like, you will see. I will send you the picture.
He watched it. And of course, like any artist, he found some technicalities he could change. But all in all,
the score nailed it. It was like a magical moment for me. It just worked with just audio description. And it's a silent movie, Thomas.
Audio description is more than entertainment. It's empowering.
It was my proudest moment of my professional career. I nailed a ridiculous challenge, and it opens a whole new door in my creativity and in the world of creativity, I assume. Now we have a proof of concept that a blind media composer can score a motion picture. It can be a short movie, it can be a feature film, it can be a cartoon, it can be anything. If there's audio description, that will be enough. If you want to make it perfect, then provide some time codes. It will be perfect.
Octavia Butler wrote, "There's nothing new under the sun." In 1979, Stevie Wonder released the album Journey Through the Secret Life of Plants. This was the score to the documentary titled Secret Life of Plants.
In shock from the trauma of awakening, the planet is bleak, arid, uninhabitable. But a new arrival will transform the scene.
Stevie, or some of y'all know I like to refer to him as my Uncle Stevie,
You know that ain't your uncle.
scored the film based on the description he was given of the film's visuals. Audio description. This doesn't take anything away from Kemal's accomplishment. I share this to be factual and model the idea that we've been doing this. An awareness of the history, especially going beyond what we're spoon-fed, is inspiring, and it lets us know that it's all possible. What made Yeni Yulia choose you?
She wanted to work with a blind composer, and the creator team found me because I published an article in Blind New World, beginning of 2024.
I'll link you to that article in this episode's blog post at readmymind.com.
Then we connected on Zoom, and I knew that it will be hell of a journey with her, and it really was.
You have a great energy, bro, so I can
Oh.
see why people would click with you.
It's very kind of you, Thomas. Thank you so much for that.
You mentioned that this accomplishment opened a door for creativity. And so, yes, we can score animation, we can score movies. Does it go beyond that for you?
Actually, yeah. I want to focus on Western art music, Impressionism and Expressionism. These are the two genres in the Western art music area, and they are fathers of that two genres. One, you interpret what you see. It can be a painting, it can be a sculpture, it can be anything. It can be even a kind of a story or poem.
I've been interested in sound designing image descriptions for various pieces of art, including paintings and sculptures. Rather than your straight vanilla reading of an image description, imagine how engaging an experience could be when we combine a performed reading of a poetic image description with musical composition and sound design. As blind people, we aren't going to have the same experience with visual art, so why not strive for new experiences?
The music should serve the story. It's like a sidekick to the story. And audio description, even though it tells what's going on, in this kind of art house project, it will definitely fail to express all the allegories in it. And there's the music comes to help. Music tells whether or not it's creepy, lousy, fictitious, mystic, empowering, engaging, heroic. The music expresses the emotions like anger, love, being desperate, outrage, or the expressions like hilarious, annoying, embarrassing. From a blind audience perspective, they will not be able to see the clothing.
They will not be able to see the color grading, all the colors, because audio description has only limited time to tell what's going on.
We're talking about all of the small details in a scene, whether static or moving. Could it be written? Yes. But is it always the most engaging?
The score can do those kind of things. What if score tells the weather is cloudy and the woman, even though look pretty, she has something in her mind that makes her sad. An audio description will maybe express some of those, but will not be able to tell all of it. But music can express those things with the sounds. That opens a whole new world of creativity to me.
What does the viewer, the AD viewer, need to know? Are we literate enough to be able to translate what you're communicating musically? I think what I really probably should say is we need to pay more attention. I listen to the music and I listen to sound design and I get the vibe, but I don't know if I always put it into context of what the story is saying. I feel like I need to be paying more attention to that music, that sound design, and the AD. It's a lot of work.
It's not entirely your fault. Maybe audio description might mask the score in certain places. Maybe the director wants to go another route. Maybe they don't want to use music at all. We should look at the masterpieces here. I think the most famous score, Star Wars.
Next time on Flipping the Script on Audio Description, we'll explore sound design and music in movies. What are some of the things we should know? How can we become more active listeners and maybe take a listen to some examples? Not just for the sake of doing so, but with the intention of making use of the other ways information is communicated in visual media. Creative ways that we as non-visual consumers can explore and benefit from. In addition to composing for film, Kamal has some top secret projects that I look forward to learning more about in the future.
We've been working on a project with Lachi, my friend and colleague. I can't tell more about it just yet. NDAs. There's also something coming up. I just saw the papers in my email just before I connected here. It will be a kind of a different project. That much I can tell. It won't be a motion picture thing. It will be a theatrical thing. It takes place in New York.
If you're going to be in New York City, definitely let me know. I'm right there, man.
Yeah, I will definitely do that.
For Kamal, music helped him, in his own words, blend in. For some, that may sound like hiding, and perhaps at one point it was. But today, Kamal is clear about what that means to him.
Everybody, including myself, accepts my identity. Everybody, including myself, celebrates it because that's who I am. Thanks to my dear friend Stephen Letnes, thanks to Ramped, recording artists and music professionals with disabilities, thanks to all those, I found a community. Now blending is celebrating who you are, celebrating your identity, celebrating that out loud, hey, my name is Kemal Gürey and I identify as blind. And what's up with that?
That's right. What's up with that? Ooh-wee. I respect that commitment to shouting out those who support you along the way, especially mentors and those in your community. Check out this episode's blog post for links to both the ABLE Foundation and RAMPD, or RAMPed. And of course, I'll link you to KamalGorey.com, where you can check out more about Kamal and his music.
Kilo, Echo, Mike, Alpha, Lima, Golf, Oscar, Romeo, Echo, Yankee.com.
As the kids used to say, you could Google him, baby. Find him on all social media platforms.
Everything. Kemal Gürey, Blue Sky, Instagram, LinkedIn, IMDb, and Ramp. All pro members have their profiles at Ramp.
This is right about the time when I let the guests know how much I appreciate the fact that they share their expertise and time with the family. I was inspired to do that a little differently now. Check this out. In 2014, I introduced you to this podcast. It's a passion project. It means all love, no cash. Over 10 years, bringing you nothing but facts. My goal for this has always been impact. I invite a guest, take a topic, tailor it just for you. A disability perspective always shining through. So thanks to my guests for sharing your time with me. You official. Read My Mind Radio family. Official. Hey, hey, hey. Official. Official. You official. Read My Mind Radio family. Now who's official?
Kemal Garay.
You official. Read My Mind Radio family. For all those thinking, now what can I do? I wrote a checklist for you to become official too. You'll never be down if you don't follow or subscribe. That's the #1 way for you to join this tribe.
Shout it out.
Tell all your friends and your foes. That's the way we help each other and the podcast grows. Buy merch, a shirt or hoodie for yourself or your boo. Now look at that, baby. You official too. Hey, hey, hey. You official. Read My Mind Radio family. Now who's official? I said who's official?
Kemal Garay.
You official. Read My Mind Radio family.
KG.
There it is.
Thank you so much for inviting me
Follow or subscribe wherever you get podcasts.
for this amazing episode.
You know how we do, right? Transcripts and more available at readmymind.com, and so there is never, ever, 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 ever any confusion. That's R to the E. I
D, and that's me in a place to be.
like my last name.